Open YouTube.
Some people kill, some people steal, some people lie sometimes. Different events in our life can shape those ways. Harboring hate, harboring pain, and everything people do make it so very hard to forgive. Nobody is perfect, and I can see that in the mirror. And every time I think of things I've done inside the past, I struggle mentally on different ways I can let go. As I look up in the sky to talk to God, I notice the person there. Not worried about a thing, not even worried about me. Down here, they free. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. I'm always seeing them pass by. I'm jealous. So many things, so many bills I gotta worry about. I go to work every day so they get paid. So many jobs, so many friends, different associates. Always forget they're subjected to change. Nothing stays the same, things always changing like the seasons. As soon as I get my hopes up, issues start falling down. I struggle mentally on different ways I can let go. As I look up in the sky to talk to God, I notice the birds in there. Not worried about a thing. Not even worried about me. Down here, they free. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. I'm always seeing them pass by. I'm jealous. Don't gotta worry about social issues.
What I am?
Don't gotta worry about bills too bad.
Yes, Lord, God is great. Yes, Lord.
Don't gotta worry about people falling out with you. I struggle
Struggle
mentally
mentally
on
on.
different ways I can let go. As I look up in the sky to talk to God, I
I
notice
noticed
the
the
birds
birds
in
in
there.
there.
Not worried about, not worried about nothing. Worried
Nothing.
about me.
Oh.
Down here, they free. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. Oh, I'm so jealous. Ooh, yeah. I'm so jealous.
Peace, love, health, and wealth via tribe. Like and subscribe. Help your boy break away from that 9 to 5. My name is not important, but what is the fact that I'm here on behalf of Sacred Self Healing Center, where the heart is the center for healing. Remember, when you come here on my channel, this is spa day for the soul, chicken noodle soup for the spirit, manny and patties for the ego. Yeah, I said it, for the ego, right? When you come here, kick off your shoes and relax your feet, because we're going to do some healing here with KP. You understand what I'm saying? We all about we focused on healing over here. Remember, when you come over here, this is a construction zone, a hard hat area. and self-development is the construction site. So with that being said, we have the sun card, which is the card of the day, and you can't see it worth a crap. Okay, so now you should be able to see it. All right, we got the sun card for the card of the day, guys. Sun card for the card of the day. But before I get into the sun card, I must get into my commercial. Again, my name is not important, but what is the fact that I'm here on behalf of Sacred Self Healing Center, where the heart is the center for healing. All right. Um, please, 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 please consider liking and subscribing. Please consider donating. Everything that you donate will go directly to food, shelter, and water. Understand that I am more than just a tarot reader. I play one on TV. I am what I like to call a holistic life coach, where I use a conglomerate of skills, past experiences, etc., 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 to help you realize your potential and maximize your potential. Here on YouTube with the cards, what I do is I like to say that I like to use the cards to help heal people so they can manifest the life they want to live and not be so worried about what's to come next. A very rich, wise person said the best way the best way to predict the future is to create the future. All right. So with that being said, hold on 1 second. With that being said, I must take a moment to give you guys a little bit of information about the video that I'm requesting you guys to like. So the video that I got pinned in the chat request that I'm requesting you guys to like and comment on is actually the 5th episode of removing manifestation blockages. Now I got to give a disclaimer. We took a deep dive into the Bible, but we didn't just study the Bible, but we also um we talked a lot about how to read the Bible, which is very important. So with that being said, please, 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 if you would like a free reading, please go check out that playlist. If you having problems manifesting the life you desire, or you just want tips and clues, maybe you want to manifest more money, more life, more mujeres, more, whatever. Check out that playlist, man. We get hours and hours and hours and hours, right? Of good, juicy, metaphysical tea. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I would like to go ahead. We're not going to do the guided meditation today. So I'm going to go ahead and start the collective reading. And then, of course, after that, we will get to the individuals. All right. So we have a major arcana card as the card of the day. Remember when we talking about major arcana cards, this energy is going to be it's going to play a dominant role in your life for the coming weeks, months, and even years ahead. Remember when we looking at minor arcana cards, we looking at things maybe days, weeks, months, right? And when we start to look at the major arcana again, we looking at, weeks, months, years, okay? Remember, major arcana is for long-term success. Lower minor arcana can be compared to the moon phases, but the major arcana is compared to the sun. And it's so funny that we got the sun card as the card of the day because it's very rich in symbolism, right? The sun is a massive radiant sun that dominates the card. Okay, and if it's hard for you, it's hard for us to see. So I know my screen a little dark, but even still, I know it's hard to see. So here we got a very large sun here, right? And there's other symbolism in the card, but I want to focus on the sun right now. So the sun right here, it represents divine illumination, right? It it represents life force energy in this case. Remember, the sun is a generator and a projector of energy. Um, in some cases, the sun or the sun rays, right, or the energy that the sun give off, could represent prana or chi. But us as Reiki masters, we refer to life force energy as uh ki, right? So ray and ki, right? Ray means basically like universal or like out, like everywhere, right? Uncontained. And key again is the life force energy that's in us, around us, that animates us all. Okay. Um, the sun also represents truth and consciousness. In the occult, it represents solar logos, right? The divine intelligence behind all life itself. Okay, logos, right? And we will be breaking down logos very soon. We already broke down theos. We already broke down, what's the other one? I can't remember. Well, I know Theos was one. All right. So another point of symbolism I want us to pay attention to in this card before we move forward is the sun rays. All right. Often altering straight and wavy rays, alternating, I'm sorry. This is esoterically symbolic of duality. All right. The straight rays represents rational conscious mind, right? That's left brain yang. I mean, yeah. Left brain. Wait, no. Yeah, left brain yang. I'm sorry. While the wavy sun rays that's here on the card, they represent intuition and the subconscious. That's the right brain yin. Okay, so yang is left brain, yin is right brain. All right. Open notes. I need an e pen real fast. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. I need to find an e pen real fast. I just was blessed with another idea. Yin yang. All right, yeah, I just had an idea about this yin and yang thing. Okay, so back to what I was saying about the different sun rays here on this card, right? So we got left brain yang, right brain yin. So the straight lines will represent yang. The wiggly squiggly lines will represent yin, which is right brain. You understand what I'm saying? So when you put these sun rays together, they represent wholeness and enlightenment. And I'll give you guys a clue. There's a specific number of sun rays that's going to be pretty much on every sun card, no matter what the illustration is. And I want you guys to pay attention to the numerology that's hidden right in the card, okay? All right, that's very, very important. In fact, there's a lot of numerology hidden in the card, and that's what I want to talk about next. Really quick, it's the sunflowers, right? Now, the sunflowers is the very the foundational pieces for the vibrations that we're going to be carrying out in the future. Usually four in number behind the wall, these symbolize the four elements or four directions, whatever resonate for, right? Because this card, we're going to be tapping into the fourth dimension with this card, right? But occultly speaking, the sunflower is a solar sigil mirroring how the soul seeks higher consciousness. Okay, so just like how the sunflower seeks consciousness from the sun, our higher self seeks consciousness from us, or maybe our lower self seeks higher consciousness from us. Okay, and one last thing I want to talk about really, really quick is the wall that's here. A lot of people, they don't really get into the wall that's here, right? And if you don't know how to look at this card, it can be very confusing, right? But the card, the wall, I'm sorry, symbolizes the boundary between the inner and outer worlds, between spiritual truth and material illusion, the Maya. All right. The child has passed beyond it and is now fully illuminated. So if you've been feeling like Humpty Dumpty, right? If you feeling like you in between, if you've been feeling like you're not sure where to go and what to do, let this card be a confirmation for you that you can and will be who and what you want to be. I always tell people to be realistic but dream big, right? An example of that is you might not be, maybe you're too old or maybe you don't have the confidence to be a supermodel, but that doesn't mean that you can't love fashion. That don't mean that you can't get rich from being a designer. Or maybe you love fashion, but you don't want to be a model. But that doesn't mean that you can't be successful. You understand what I'm saying? In a particular industry. So again, when you're talking about becoming the projector, the projector of your own energy, you got to understand that the sun is not only the projector of energy, but it's also the sustainer of its own energy. Remember, the sun don't take no days off. The sun do not take no days off. The sun goes every single day. Even if it's cloudy for us, even if it's winter, the sun is still projecting, right? Imagine what would happen if the sun ever took a day off, right? So here into our deep dive of the sun card, um it represents the path of Resh on the tree of life. um it connects your soul and hold hold um it's associated again with consciousness, right? Because the photons oh, that's what the other word we learned in Greek was phos, which is mind, right? The Greek word for mind is phos or phos or phos, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. I'm so happy this card popped up. So again, like I was saying, this card indicates the journey from the subconscious lunar realm to the radiant solar consciousness, aka enlightenment, right? So to say a person is enlightened or illuminated is saying that they have received higher consciousness. And the only way to receive higher consciousness is through logic. This is why they tell y'all to praise light. See, the next stage in human evolution is higher consciousness. See, we already got, whew, The next stage. Oh my God, that is a powerful. The next stage in human evolution. Oh yeah. So the next stage in human evolution is higher consciousness, right? All of the clairs and all of that stuff is really natural. But one thing that we're not born with is intelligence. Um, only through knowledge and wisdom can only through learning and applying knowledge can we get wisdom. That's the only way to achieve wisdom. And so, um, hmm, I'll just say this: let higher consciousness be the foundation for your transformation. Uh, remember, you have to be the sustainer of your own energy. You have to always project the right energy. When people see you in the world, they don't know what you went through last night. They don't know if you was abused as a child. They don't know if your husband is beating you or cheating. They don't know if you got enough money to take care of the bills. Only thing they know is they see a person and they expect you to perform. And unfortunately, some of us don't always feel like we're up to the task to perform, but we got to be able to change that or at least be able to advocate for ourselves, right? So, astrologically speaking, this card is ruled by the sun naturally, of course, traditionally associated with Leo, the sign of will expression and divine kingship. Leo's fire is not destructive but creative. The life, the fire of life and divine expression. Remember when we talking about the fire element is one of transformative by nature. Nothing in nature is never destroyed. It's only recycled, renewed, reused. So the yellow concept and all of that is kind of thrown out the window, right? So alchemically speaking, the sun corresponds with gold, the perfect metal. The gold of the great work, aka the magnum opus. All right. The sun can also represent the philosopher's stone, hint hint, the symbol of the solar king, the perfected self. Remember what we were just reading about the will of God? You understand what I'm saying? When paired with the moon, it indicates the conjunction or sacred marriage of opposites. So I got a bunch of notes here. And I don't want to overwhelm you guys with this card, but I love the Sun card. This is a very, very auspicious card. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I'm gonna leave the floor open for a couple people. Um, if you guys want to read, but in closing, I'm just going to say that we got to be able to do what we got to do when we need to do it. All right. So peace, love, health, and wealth. Anything else, put it back on the shelf because I ain't buying it. Peace.